We do stuff from down under, from Australia, but not too often. It really has to, we have a higher bar for stuff outside the country. But when I saw this story out of Melbourne, it reminded me of other stories we had done in other places in Australia. Large groups of black people rampaging through a neighborhood, in this case, throwing hundreds of black people throwing rocks at cops and cars and neighbors and stores and property. And all the cops can do is tell everybody to go inside and lock their doors, because this has never happened before and it will never happen again. I thought, well, darn, that sounds really familiar. Why don't we take a look at a little bit of the video?
They clashed with that group. Rocks were thrown at the police car. A rear window was smashed. Eventually, they were able to get this group, which was described as African in appearance, to move on. There was no further damage.
So that's Australia. That's the result of some, today, nameless, faceless bureaucrat who a couple of generations ago decided they were going to change Australia for the better by relaxing some of the strictest immigration laws in the world. To get into Australia, you actually had to have a job. You actually had to have a way to sustain yourself. They're not really down with giving out welfare to immigrants. Somehow that all changed. Somehow they didn't send me the memo. These guys got the memo. That's how they're acting. This stuff happening in Australia, once you start pulling the threads on this, as we have done, we've done probably a dozen stories on Australia, you'll be astonished how much black mob violence there is in Australia, how much black on white crime there is in Australia. But one thing I did notice, the reporters and the cops, they're just a little bit, at this point anyway, a little bit less worried about making the black kids angry.